All right, welcome to the home garage. I just did a whole house tour, but I wanted to dig deep into the garage here and show you where we're at. Spent quite a bit of time, quite a bit of effort, having to make some adjustments on the fly. Like for instance, we can't do the garage doors we're gonna do, so I'm not gonna do a lift in here. But wanted to walk you through what we got, what it looks like, and what I still need to do in order to finish this up. But we're on the home stretch, it's getting closer. And so this is a, let's see, the dimension is, it's 21 feet, 6 inches deep. Get out of here, cut it out, Chase. Stop it. You wanna come on the video? Come on, come on up, come on up, come on up, come on up. I'll get you. Yeah, you wanna fight me? All right, let's talk to the people. This is Chase. So the garage is 21 feet, 6 inches deep. So it still works with a car. You can see there's still quite a bit of room. You know, I could probably push it another 6 inches backwards, but it's easy to pull in, and I still have a good, I mean, that's 2 tiles, which is 31 inches, 31 and a half. So I've got a good 3 feet from cabinet to front of car. Obviously the Raptor won't, the extended cab Raptor won't fit in here. It's too tall to fit through the doorway anyway. But the width of the garage is, I think the back wall is 31 feet. But then we have this little 10 by 10 area. So it's about 41 feet at the front. This is almost exactly 10 by 10. You know, this little section, which is designed to be like a golf cart area, which of course I'm not gonna do. And then the ceilings are about almost 11 feet. They're like 10 feet 9, something like that. And so it's a pretty standard, semi-oversized 2-car garage. Or 3-car garage, I should say. You could probably squeeze 4 in here if you really wanted to try it, you know, push your luck. But it has an 18-foot door here and an 8-foot door. I'd almost rather have a 16-foot door and a 9-foot door. But the normal 7-foot door with the rails being at, 7.5 feet high are kind of annoying. And so the plan was to do this door, which is sitting here in the corner, which of course the HOA declined, so I got to sell this thing. But the plan was to do these residential roll-up doors, which are insulated, quiet, smooth, about the same speed as these. It would have been perfect, but they denied it. They said it was going to be too noisy, which these are the loudest doors on the planet. And they said, no, we don't want it to look like a commercial location. So I've been in battle with them since we moved in here, so I said screw it. So the flooring's done. I just finished that the other day. This is Swisstrax rib tracks. I know your first question, if you're watching this, you say, well, what do you do about spills? What do you do about dirt? That's the magic of it, is oak leaves and stuff like that will never make it past the first few tiles. All the dirt and dust and stuff. Sand is really what we have a lot of that sort of sticks to your tires. It drops underneath the floor. It'll look clean 100% of the time. I'll vacuum it once a year, maybe. If I have a spill, we just pop a tile out and take it out and wash it off and wipe it off. It takes a few minutes. If you're doing heavy mechanical work, like my friend Sean's shop, Precision Sport Industries down in Orlando, we did some Swisstrax there. It lasted like a month and just got destroyed. It was just disgusting with transmission fluid. And the worst part on it is not so much oil, it's radiator fluid. You know, when you get that on there, then it gets slick and nasty and attracts dirt and stuff like that. But for a garage like this, where it's my home garage, and the most we'll be doing here is washing cars and detailing and tinkering with a thing here or there. The Swisstrax is fantastic. You can wash on it, you can do anything you want. It has channels underneath it so the water can run. And I think it looks pretty fantastic. I always end up doing, just to break up the floor, I always end up doing this black border, just to kind of break it up. Not really to denote any parking area or anything, but just to kind of give us a border that makes the garage look not quite as monotonous with all the gray. But this is slate gray, jet black, and I used to do rubber tracks here, but they stopped making those. They don't do the sort of anti-fatigue rubber tracks anymore. They don't make those. The cabinets are from a company called Sabre, which we sell all this stuff, by the way. This is what I do for a living. These are the gray version, which is my favorite version. And we did a various combination of 4-drawer. They actually don't make a 8-drawer like this. They come in this configuration. But what we did is I had several of these 6 drawers, and I just swapped out some of the lowers because it worked out where you could convert it to an 8-drawer. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 7? Yeah, 8-drawer, from a 6-drawer to an 8-drawer. And so we just kind of swapped out some of the drawers, and it actually fits. So we were pretty pleased about that. But I did, so the countertop is 22 feet long. We had our blue tree tops. They're made in 3 sections, and then it has a dowel type connection point where it sucks in. One of the mistakes I made on this is that when you do install these, you don't want to mount them right away. They do expand and contract a bit, especially in the summer here, and so it's okay because we ended up doing the backsplash, but the gap was flush against the wall, and the gap grew as the wood shrunk a bit. And so the countertop setup, I think, couldn't look any better. I had my first couple of scratches and nicks and banging up, and the problem with these fancy looking tops is that they look fantastic when you first get them, and then they'll look terrible for a little while when you get a bunch of little random scratches, but when it becomes one big scratch, then I think when it gets a patina, it'll start to look the part. But if you're in a heavy use garage, we'd want to do stainless or butcher block or something like that. But for a garage like this and many of the garages that we design, this actually works out pretty well. I put my orange vise here, so we have these in the store as well, but the orange vices, Chase, chill out, bro, that's your tail. The orange vise is set up where I'd lock it down whenever I need it, but normally I just leave it in this position. And then the thought when I decided to do this garage is I wanted to do a backsplash. So I did the opposite of what I normally do, which is to do all kinds of research and do all kinds of discussion and figure out what kind of tile I wanted to do. And this time I just went to Home Depot and I stood there like every other DIY douche does. And I'm like, I kind of like that tile. And I brought 2 or 3 different tiles home. And then I said, well, this is great. Well, what I didn't know is this is limestone. It ended up being a huge process to install this. It turned out great. I decided to go with the ultra-modern look where we did stacked instead of staggered subway-style tile. It was also easier to do. It's easier to do that way if your wall was kind of wonky. And my electric panel was right here. That's why my mini split is off base, off to the right a little bit. We weren't going to swap the panel, and I was just going to kind of work around it. And then Perry, my electrician, said, hey, we can move that panel out in a day. And so I think it was about 10 grand cost me to get the panel outside because otherwise it was throwing off all the somewhat symmetry we have. But mini split's there, it's not going anywhere. We drilled a big hole in the wall and I didn't want to try to repair that. So the concept here was to put a large display. The display is mounted with my eyes at mid-level of the TV, so the display is mounted where it needs to go. The countertop is where it needs to be, and then I mount the uppers where they need to be. Same 20, I'm pretty sure it's 22 inches is my standard height. It might be 23. It's 23. So 23 inches is what I've decided is the new Matt Mormon standard for where the upper cabinets will go. I'm pretty tall, so I can still easily reach the height of the upper cabinets. I always keep like a little ladder here if I needed to get in and do anything with that. So behind the TV, I ran HDMI. I ran 2 Cat 6 connections. So I have Cat 6 running right to the display, and then power behind the display as well. And so the idea here was to create one cohesive back wall. Bryce will get some detail on the side here, but even my cabinet guys, even on the side, or my tile guys, even on the side, they ran the tile all the way down the sides of the cabinets. So it looks like this is the way the house came, if you will, even though we all know that it's a backsplash. So all these cabinets, I have every tool that Sonic makes, I have here. And so one of the next projects I'm going to be working on, I'm going to be doing all tool grid organization. Even though Sonic has their awesome foam inlay systems, I wanted to provide other options. And so we're going to go through, I think it's, how many tools is it, Bryce? It's like 2,200 or something like that. individual tools, over 2,000 individual tools that we're going to go through and do some drawer organization on. So that'll be a next really big project. I'm going to see if I can get the guys from Tool Grid to come down from Canada, from Ontario, to see if we can do it together. It'd be kind of fun to organize all of our screwdrivers and all of our 3/8 and all of this stuff that right now is just kind of sitting in place. And so I'm going to do a whole, same with the kitchen and laundry room. I'm going to go through and do a whole, cabinet organization project, which will be one of my next steps. The lighting in here, we have a whole video on the lighting. I tried these out. This is a Cree commercial 0 to 10 volt dimmed troffer. These are the ZR troffers. They are not the right light for a garage. They can work, but I didn't realize that for heat purposes they needed this 5.5-inch deep housing. These are really designed to go in drop ceilings or in a drywall, like a cut or recessed application. I thought I could surface mount them. The lighting quality in here is fantastic. The bulk of the lights, I'm not going to change them. Again, we're going to be in this house for maybe another year and a half or so. We're building a house down the street. I just secured the lot. But these troffers actually worked out really well. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 2x4s and then 1, 2 2x2s. And then across the back here, we've got KR series. These are all 5,000 Kelvin, by the way, but these are KR. I wanted, for symmetry, we lost all symmetry because of where all the drop down, I'll show you the stairs and all that crap goes, but at least across the back. But the way that the joists come in here, we couldn't get the extra light. And we turned out we really didn't need any extra light over here in the corner. It's really well lit, so I'm missing one of the KRs didn't go in. But these three KRs are on one zone, and then these 2 are on another, so I can turn those off if I'm watching something on the TV, and I don't want the light shining right on them. But you can see that the countertop is really well illuminated. Underneath here is a contiguous max light. We do sell these under cabinet lights. They're the best we've found. They don't need some big transformer or anything to work. And so we have, those are also 5,000 Kelvin as well. And so the max light stuff, you can find it in the store. We have that there in case you wanted it. So this really turned out quite well. I had them put quad outlets, and then we also have some under cabinet power strips. We have these in the store now as well. I just found those from a company called Outwater. And we actually have them in silver, so I'm going to swap those out. So all the cabinets will have under cabinet power, which I did on a separate circuit, but I had them do quad outlets in case, which I don't know how much power I'm going to need, because we do have hose reels. They're going to be power cord reels are going to be going in the ceiling here shortly. The audio setup is not quite complete, but it will be here shortly. So I pre-wired. I made a mistake and really didn't think this through. These speakers are 21 feet apart. The garage is already not a great audio environment, but in this house garage, I wanted to do a regular powered, a regular integrated amplifier and a stereo pair of speakers. I thought about doing surround sound in here, but these are the Dynaudio Heritage series. They're so freaking cool. So Dynaudio Heritage, they have sort of a retro look, which I just think fits the style of this. Where these are like a special edition, like this is the tweeter they have on their $45,000 pair of floor ceiling speakers. Same thing with the woofer. This has a special edition woofer. They're just freaking awesome, incredible. And then I have a single, this is a sub 6, which is dual, same subwoofer I have in the living room. I'm actually have another one that goes over there. I'm just waiting to get rid of that garage door. So we'll have the 2 subs, the 2 speakers, powered by and I'm about to, when I do all the organization here, I'm going to rewire some of the stuff in the back. But an NAD M33, which if you know anything about this kind of stuff, you know that that's probably one of the best DAC, digital analog converters. I'm using this to listen to Tidal MQA audio. And I have what are those fans that I do? What's the name of that? AC Infinity? Yeah, AC Infinity fan that I cut a hole in the top of the cabinet. So that fan, runs and keeps air circulating, which I don't really need because this is a Purify Class D amplifier, so super efficient and doesn't put off a lot of heat. This will be my little charging area. I'm going to get that all set up and Velcroed, but everything looks the part. This is another cool thing. I should say everything sounds the part. This is from Hefele, where I had this idea to put my trash can in the bottom of the main cabinet, and then this 20-inch cabinet is my microfiber towel area, and yeah, I got myself over exactly positioned. Same thing here with my microfiber towels. It's supposed to be light and darks, but I ended up getting lazy on it. But these soft close garbage can things, I think was a pretty cool idea. Towels here, all the detailing gallons will go here, and or maybe even on the bottom here. But the whole drawer organization project is my next step that I'm going to do. And then because I was going to do the backsplash on the back wall, I thought it would be kind of neat to do backsplash, like another backsplash. You know, I'm always railing on accent walls, but I don't think it counts if you're doing tile or stone. At least that's the rule that I made up for myself. So here, the CR Spotless is going to go here. We're going to have it stubbed out. I already have it powered. CR Spotless, Prevost piping package, hose reels going here. We're going to do the AR 630 in this garage just because I haven't done a custom install of this. You know, I prefer the Krensla, but this is the AR triplex, triplex, 2.3 gallon a minute AR 630 TSS. They're going to be doing on a shelf that's on that wall, and it's going to look super slick. We'll have the Mosmatic whatever holster thingy on it as well, so I can holster my wand holder, so I can holster our wand and gun. And I made a little bit of a mistake here in that when I plumbed this out, I didn't leave a gap, so they ended up having to, because I didn't want to cut the wall apart. So behind this wall is a 3/4 inch plywood, finished plywood backer, so I won't have to try to hit anything. This whole wall is plywood with rock wool safe and sound behind it. And so I put the bucket filler, so you know, concept is you take the bucket, fill it up like that. I put the bucket filler in there for, you know, so that way and there's just the way this thing, the depth of this, I wanted it to sit flush, and so I put it so close to the corner. I think it actually worked out really well, putting it on the corner like that. When I first did it, because the tile and the Schluter joint here, by the way, there's Schluter Ditra behind here as well, so this is all waterproofed, kind of like you would in a shower. But I don't know how I'm going to be getting water all over the place, but if I did, it's good to go. Right here, actually, the reason why this cutout is here, this is where the air handler was. So the air handler was here, the main duct, you know, for the whole house, the return and the main output for the whole house was right here, and I paid thousands of dollars to get that out of here. And then this is the first time I've done these. These are T316 stainless. T316, certainly not necessary. The reason why I did that is because I found that many times my adhesive here not sticking very well to our tar remover bottle. But this is what I've been dreaming of forever, to have cohesive bottles. These are all different brands of products in these bottles with a cohesive label. Really psyched about how this turned out. So the concept of doing T316, that's salt water, chemical resistant, and so hopefully when these things leak, we won't get a ring of anything on it. So that's something, another thing I came up with to try out. But these shelves are like 120 bucks a piece or something like that. Bucket package gets parked here. The reason why I stopped the tile here is this is where the door goes to. Just seemed to make sense to me. Instead of doing the whole wall, just stop it there and then do another Schluter, another end piece here. Actually turned out really nice, I think. It worked out quite well. And then the kids stuff goes here. We don't have a lot of stuff because we made them throw it all away. So this is the kids / house cabinet. We have some bike racks coming that will be motorized, that will take the bikes up to the ceiling. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to try it. It's called a top lift, I believe is what it's called. So we'll be testing those out here shortly, seeing how that works. I have 2 of those coming, one for my mountain bikes and then one for the kids' bikes, and we'll kind of see how that works. I have 2 separate 60 amp services for Tesla chargers, so I put those in. I mean, we have a Tesla, so it makes sense. And this 18-foot cable won't reach that door, and so we put 2 of them in there. The other thing that's going to happen is I'm probably going to do high lift, so we'll probably bring this up a bit, which will shorten it up, so it'll probably bring it back about 2 feet and bring it up about 2 feet. I might change out these 3 light fixtures here so I can get the doors up closer to the ceiling when they open. I'm going to insulate the doors, just doing some cut-in insulation. Probably change the hardware and grease and oil everything so it doesn't make so much noise. And figure out how to make the doors work or function a little bit better. And then we're going to take the operators and do jack shaft operators on the wall. And I've actually pre-wired them both in the upper left corner, so the operators will go out of the way. So we'll do the LiftMaster 8500s in here to get these at least out of the center of the room. But the plan was to have this completely open, but unfortunately they denied it. So this is a part that I'm sure one of the people like the most. But we have a magic lift. So I just keep my shop vac on there. So this brings whatever you want. Like I had all the Swisstrax that I put down last week up in the attic, and I use this to bring it down. And then we have the magic stairs, which I can always go up and meet the stuff that I put on the lift. Now, originally when we were doing the roll-up doors, I was able to take the stairs, I'd be able to open it with the doors open and closed. Now, the door has to be closed in order for me to get it to be able to go up there, or to be able to get it to come down. Because you can see it goes all the way to the edge of the door. But Christmas tree, all that stuff. So I did a closed cell. So the whole house has open cell foam in it, but this had no insulation. So we did all closed cell, about 4 inches of closed cell foam to seal off the garage, which is now conditioned by the Mitsubishi, which is 18,000 BTUs. You see, we took the vertical air handler, turned it into a horizontal air handler, and changed and got rid of all the return and all the ducting and all of that stuff to put the AC unit here. I do have a 60 pint, I forget what the brand is, Ultra Air Clean Comfort dehumidifier, so that dehumidifies the house. We keep the house around 47% humidity, something like that. But you can see there's a Lutron motion sensor, and then our Lutron Vive is right there. When we do my house, we're going to do a really clean install from scratch. But you can see this is, this has attic trusses and their attic storage up here, and you sit up here, you bring the VersaLift up to you, and that way I don't have to carry stuff up and down. Mainly, I don't really need it for this house, but I wanted to try it and see what it was like. But it's nice and comfy up here. I actually have a duct that's the air conditioner, or the air conditioner is conditioning the attic as well. So since the attic is sealed off, we don't have any soffits. We have to bring that inside the house, so that this stays about 85 degrees or something like that up here most of the time. If I really wanted to condition this properly, I really do need to go and get a bigger, like a 4-ton unit. I have a 3-ton unit. I probably needed 4.5 tons. So that's kind of disappointing, but that's what we got. You can see the lighting circuits running across there, the solar circuits running across for the solar panels. Tesla really did a great job. Really did a nice clean install. But that's the upstairs of the attic where we keep crap, like my oil change stuff, which I actually need to get down. So this is where I grab my oil change bucket and keep things up here that, like, our stuff for football games and luggage and things like that we don't need all the time. So there's an obvious risk there. That's why I keep the remotes up here where no one really knows where they are. There's a risk that my car's parked there and the thing comes down. We really need to get some sort of infrared sensor or something like that. Maybe that's something we'll figure out how to do. The other thing I've got is I've got a motion sensor as well, which I'm going to mount to the ceiling. It's a Lutron motion sensor that I'm going to have just this back array turn on when I open the door. I don't want to get blinded when I drive in at night. But there were a couple of things that we're going to work on. So next up is air compressors going here. Bike lift is going here. I'm not going to do the car lift. I was going to cut the floor and do a recessed scissor lift, but since these douchebags have been yelling, even my neighbors have been yelling at me lately about who knows what. These freaking little babies can't handle anybody making a nice house and having nice cars. I don't know what it is, but we're pretty quiet. But we have kids, and we're not 90 years old, and so they don't like that. And so I decided I'm not going to put a $10,000 lift in this house because I don't want to do the work. And plus, I got the lift at HQ, which is 3 miles down the road, 4 miles down the road, so I'm just not going to do it. But the lift controller was going to go here. I'd pre-wired it. But I'm still going to do the compressor, the FX/3 rotary screw compressor, and we'll run the Prevost lines. I'm going to do just 2 hose reels and 2 power reels. I was going to do 4. So it'll still be set up to detail in here if I want to, but mainly just washing. Without doing the garage doors, the lift becomes less practical. And even doing a high lift, I needed every square inch of space to do the lift that I wanted to do in here. And then this corner will be open for just clean. And once I get this garage door out of here, it's going to look pretty decent. So we got a little bit of work to do. We'll certainly have some more wrap-up tours. I do have an ADT camera pointing into here, so an motion sensor. And then the doors are on contact sensors as well, so it's all secure. But the audio's great, the lighting's great. I love this. I still love this flooring. It always looks clean. The cabinets turned out fantastic. So I'm really pleased. It's been a big project. It's gotten me in a lot of trouble. I failed to mention the water heater was actually in the corner where where the kids' cabinet is. And so we had to relocate the water heater out of here. So it's been a big project. I want to say we'll add up what this garage costs. It's probably to do something like this is probably somewhere, if you do audio and stuff like this, I mean, we're probably somewhere around 150 grand or something like that. But most people don't do this all at once. You do it over a lifetime. I'm doing it all at once because this is what I do. But it's super comfy in here. It's 72 degrees. I leave the door open oftentimes. I'm in here watching something and tinkering. Once I get the drawers organized and get my air compressor and stuff in here, we've got ourselves a fully functioning garage, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I think it looks great. So anyway, thanks for being a part of it. And if you need any help with designs like this, hit us up. Go to obsessedgarage.com, and you can go to the design page, fill out the contact form, and Kyle and our team will get back with you, and we can put together a garage like this for you. We can do it piecemeal. We can do it all at once. You've also seen us do really big projects as well. The yarn building is was a much bigger garage than this, and some of the other projects we've worked on. But I've tried a couple of different things in here, and I think that the result is pretty awesome. So thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more crazy. It's turned out nice. See you soon.